Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with another Dragons of Tarkir spoiler video. Today we are up to day 8, and we got some more fun cards, including our first look at Surrak in Dragons of Tarkir at least. First up we got a cycle, so let's hop right in with beautiful artworks and actually really solid mana rocks. We have the Monument Cycle, and basically we've seen these kind of things before. We saw them even in Khans of Tarkir with the clan stones of sorts. The dragon ones here are freakingly powerful. They act as a mana rock early on, reasonably costed, but unlike other ones we've seen before, like the keystones from Ravnica, this ability is amazing. 6 for a 4/4 flyer on whim, and realize that this can be anytime as a blocker, anytime instant speed, boom. Really great way to scale value, and for these rocks it really incentivizes playing them. I think fantastic. Scion of Ugin, great flavor, kind of gives a sense of story arc, but it's an okay card. It's fine. It's not fantastic, it's acceptable. Just so, very average for limited. Duress with sweet artwork. Halligan showing Zurgo, who's boss. Duress has always been a solid card, and of course it will be as usual here as well. Kind of will help along probably if mono black control or some kind of Mardu black red aggro kind of style deck comes around. This card will be a nice one to have as an option, as well as for control. Tapestry of Ages, 4 for an artifact, tap to tap it, draw a card. Okay, activate this ability only if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn. Rebound anybody? That seems to be what this is kind of for. Definitely going to be a fun commander card. I can definitely see it moving in that direction, and it's probably solid for limited as well, being able to scale up and get consistent card advantage. Is it good enough for constructed? I seriously doubt it, but you never know. Custodian of the Trove, 3 for a 2/5 defender, enters battlefield tapped. I don't love it, even with the way of making toughness into power. I still think it's a fairly weak card as things go, even though the artwork is pretty fun. Surrak the Huntcaller, 4 for a 5/4 human warrior. Formidable at the beginning of combat. If creatures you control have a total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste till end of turn. The reason I like this is because he has 5 power, and that matters a lot, both in terms of his pure stats. 4 for a 5/4 is great for limited. Very well costed in stats. But the fact that it is super easy for this guy, when he hits play 5 plus whatever's around, for it to have 8, in which case he becomes 4 for a 5/4 haste, very strong, and the fact that this ability happens anytime combat begins is huge for playing cards above him, 5 mana and above. Many of the cards don't have haste, and he would enable that. Seems very strong for limited. I don't think he's quite there for constructed, but pretty sweet for limited. Bell-Toll Dragon is probably the one of the cycle, this Megamorph cycle of dragons, that I really like, just because of the hexproof, which makes 6 for 3/3 flying hexproof is actually pretty decent. And the Megamorph flip up is powerful, but more so when you're left with a flying hexproof card. There's very few ways to deal with this in limited, so it's at least average. Icefall Regent from the Magic Show wraps up our spoilers for today. 5 for a 4/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, taps a creature down, and it stays that way as long as he's around. Seems super sweet. Great stats, and this is ability you've seen before on things like Dungeon Geist and Sower of Temptation. Great, not Sower of Temptation, gosh. Dungeon Geist and at least one other card that I'm forgetting the name of. But this card is fantastic. Tapping down, and the fact that spells your opponents cast that target it costs 2 more to cast, kind of Frost Titany, don't we think? But having all of that on a very well-costed creature, this is going to be a huge limited card. So those are the spoilers, and I want to hear your thoughts about them, of course, down below in the comment section. I'm also going to mention that the Planeswalker's Guide to Tarkir, the Dragons of Tarkir specifically, has been published, and you guys can read through it at your leisure. We are only pointed to 2 of the dragon clans now. I don't know what they're called, but only 2 of them are discussed here, as well as the overarching backstory in terms of just reminding everyone how dragons came to rule the clans. The Ajutai clan, which used to be Jeskai, pretty much is what we expect, given you have a very ruthless but intelligent dragon. So it's a clan that worships intellect, worships Ajutai as being the giver of that intellect and of that history. Given how old Ajutai is, and given how he's controlled the knowledge passed down of what happened back in the day, it kind of is a major deal. And that's, you can read more about their specifics. There's a lot of detail that they go into. And the other clan they focus on, which is pretty sweet, and you learn a little bit more about Narset. But the Silumgar clan, they're really ruthless, and he is super scary, guys. Seriously, you read about him, he's everything from maniacal to cruel to egotistical to paranoid, which is the major deal for him because he ends up killing tons of people. He'll wipe out an entire section of his servants just because he's afraid that a couple of them may be scheming against him. And it's funny, he actually killed Sidisi for mistranslating what he was giving to the common folk, and so he had her murdered. But he realized, oh shoot, I shouldn't have murdered her, she's actually useful. So he brought her back from the grave, and for now at least she serves him. But being the undead, there's not a lot of places you can go but up, and I can definitely see her trying to take away power from him, just in terms of a longer arcing plot within the plane. So you guys can read through it on your own. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. I like how far they fleshed out the world these days. It's very, very detailed, and I can't wait for part 2. So if you enjoyed the video, everybody tap the like button if you're new to the channel. Check in and subscribe. We're wrapping up, finishing up our spoilers, and then pre-release is coming soon. So look forward to seeing a limited review as well as spoilers, as well as a pre-release guide that I will be doing before the pre-release, and of course, top 10 EDH commander cards. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. As always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.